If you feel like your collection is just a little bit average right now, it's so-so, it's okay, nothing to write home about, this video is going to help you out. You know, when you first start out, you might not really know where to start. It's very hard because there's so many options out there, so much information to take in all at once, and you can either just sit there and drag your feet and be overwhelmed and not dive in at all, or you can just dive right in and start picking some things up to learn your style and what you like. And I think that's the way to go about it. That's how I did it personally. However, you will find after you start purchasing some things, you know, you might start getting a lot of redundancy. And so you want to try to break that up as soon as you can, because if you just keep hammering in on the same style of scent all the time without breaking out, this hobby is going to become very boring very quickly. It's happened to me. I think it's happened to all of us. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it might at some point. It's all about breaking up the monotony here. And that's what this video is going to be for. 10 fragrances to take your collection from just okay to the next level. But with a twist, I don't want to introduce you to a bunch of super weird smelling oud and niche to do that. I don't think that's necessarily the best way to approach it either. I still want you to get your money's worth. No sense in pouring a bunch of money into stuff that sits on the collection shelf most of the time because you can't wear it because it's too hard to pull off. You don't want anything like that. You don't want things to be super situational specific. These here, these 10, are still going to be easy to pull off in a bunch of different situations. Links will be down below to discounters so you can get these at prices below retail. I've got a mailing list you could sign up to as well to get some great deals and hard to find stuff as well. It's really going to help you out, but we'll talk about that later. Let's jump right in with Polo Deep Blue Parfum. Yes, you might have the blues. Maybe you don't yet. Maybe you don't have the blue fragrances yet. But if you want somewhere to start that's a little bit different, I would check this one out. The reason why is because, yes, it's got the ambroxan, there's some C notes, but with a very unique mango accord, which I really like. And this whole entire line is known for mango. It's kind of their thing. When you think of Hugo Boss the scent, what do you think of? Maninka fruit. When you think of Polo Blue and Polo Double Black and just a lot of their Polo fragrances in this bottle style, a lot of them use the mango accord. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it's blue fragrance inspired, but with a twist. Really nice, kind of a spicy, peppery, bright kick to this one as well. So it kind of fits into that category, but not to the point where it smells like any of the others straight up. No clone here. It's just their take on a blue scent with a different approach. Let's go with a niche product up next. Yes, it's a niche. However, it's one that you can wear and that people will melt for. Parfums de Marly Habdan. It's got caramel, myrrh, apple, saffron. Legitimately smells like a caramel apple. This is one of the best fall fragrances out there. If you have a little bit of money to spend, this is one that you should check out. It legitimately smells like the season of autumn. I don't think there's anything else that can convey that as much as this one does. Beautiful, smoky, sweet, caramelized apple with a little bit of a gourmand twist beyond that as well, just from all of the other sweet notes in here. A little bit of an ever so slightly spicy kick from the saffron. This is a beautiful creation. I love this stuff. It's a little bit out of season right now, but pick yourself up a bottle before we get into fall and you will love it. Gotta go with an iris, and we'll go with Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Parfum. It's so much different than the others while still being in the same ballpark, if that makes sense, because you're combining fresh and sweet. Prada L'Homme is fresh and fresh. Dior Homme Intense is sweet and sweet. This has cedarwood, musk, and some other notes that are found within the Bleu Noir line, mixing with a sweet iris. So you're kind of getting fresh, kind of musky woodiness, a little bit of a clean smell with the dusty, powdery, sweet iris. It is a great combination, and you can get so many different uses out of this one, no matter what time of year it is. Tons of versatility packed into this one, which is why I like it so much. And you also get great compliments out of it as well. Something that smells a little bit different. Not everyone's going to be wearing it, which is a plus. This next one is actually really affordable, and it's one you don't hear about all that often. It's Hugo Boss Selection. Now this one has musk, pink pepper, some grapefruit in here. Smells fantastic. And look, again, it doesn't maybe look all that special, but it doesn't have to be in that regard of smelling like super unique. It kind of just has a little bit of a spicy kick from the pink pepper, a little bit of a clean, musky smell, kind of a fresh woodiness with a tad bit of a sweetness also. There's a slight fruity kick and a little bit of a kind of a lavender undertone, maybe a little bit of sage aromatics in here to kind of branch out and touch on a bunch of different things. But ultimately, that's what this one does. It kind of goes at a lot of different categories here, and so you get something with a lot of versatility that a lot of people are gonna really like, or at the very least enjoy a little bit. What I think this one is great for is everyday use. It would be a perfect signature scent. Doesn't matter where you're going and what you're gonna do, you can wear this for it, pretty much guaranteed. Guerlain Vetiver, very affordable vetiver scent. I think this is what, $40, $50, somewhere around in that range. And yes, they have redesigned the bottle yet again. Now the new bottles look like the L'Homme Ideal bottles, basically. I don't have one of those yet. I've got this right here. But beside the obvious, it's got some bergamot and tobacco as well. So it's not your typical vetiver scent. It's very smoky, woody, aside from the vetiver. A little bit fruity, a little bit citrusy, not a ton, but it's very mature, very refined, and not quite as soapy and bland or plain as some of the other vetivers out there. Not trying to throw shade at any vetiver scents. I love all of the big vetiver scents. You name them, I like them. But this one does have a little bit more texture and variety going on, which is why I wanted to throw this one into the video. You can get a little bit bored with some of the vetivers sometimes, but this one has a nice kind of unique take to the DNA overall. Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum is a fantastic pickup. So it has the mineral notes, C notes, there's some orange in here, some aromatics, and basically it's combining some of the eau de toilette mixed with some profondo, a little bit of profumo from some patchouli in here. And another way to describe it is it really smells like Acqua di Gio 20 years later, because that's what it is. And it smells like that. It's a very smart move on their part, whether it's intentional or not. But if you were wearing Acqua di Gio EDT in high school and now 20 plus years later, you're obviously grown up, probably have a family, a wife, kids, career, whatever. This smells more appropriate to that time period that you're in now compared to when you were a kid. So it really is ADG, but grown up, and I think that is awesome and definitely much more mature and interesting now compared to the older version, which does seem a little bit more basic, at least when you smell all these other flankers compared to that one. ELDO Remarkable People is up next. Very unique champagne fragrance with some sandalwood, a little bit of a spicy cardamom in here as well. Very nice. Bubbly, sparkling, bright. Another one that's going to be good for summer evenings, spring daytime, early fall before it gets too cold. A very nice, carefree, light, airy scent. Sandalwood gives it a nice creaminess. Champagne gives it that bubbly, kind of fizzy nature. The cardamom, a little bit of a spicy, warm, sweet kick off the top. Very unique stuff. This is one of those niche products that won't cost you a whole lot of money, but will smell very different compared to everything else that you have in your collection. It's a great pickup. Another vetiver, but again, it's a different take. John Varvatos XX Artisan. So it's got vetiver, there's some bitter orange in here, some other woods going on, some citrus. So it basically takes the artisan DNA, that bitter orange, and just the orange in general, fruitiness, throwing in a lot of a nice soapy clean vetiver. And it's a really good one. Now this one in particular, compared to something like Guerlain's vetiver, has a little bit more of a sweetness to it. The type of vetiver that they're using is different. It's a little bit more smooth, not as abrasive, not as sharp, not as spicy and earthy as the Guerlain. So I think it's gonna be one of those situations where you gotta decide what you're looking for and then choose accordingly from there. If you want a lot more texture and almost kind of a brash nature, go for Guerlain vetiver. If you want something a little bit more smooth, creamy, sweet, kind of orangey, fruity, go for the Artisan XX here. I really like this one. I think it's basically one of the revivals of the Artisan line. John Varvatos, they've kind of gone downhill in the past few years with their new releases. They were on a roll with their Dark Rebels and like Artisan Pure, even like Artisan Aqua, Artisan Blue were top notch. Then you start getting into some of the John Varvatos, Nick Jonas, and some of the others, kind of getting a little bit more boring, but this kind of snaps back to what they used to do really well, and so I appreciate it for that. Gentleman Eau de Parfum Reserve Privee, Chestnut Iris Whiskey. Fantastic release. It's a boozy take on this very popular Iris DNA. It's a drop-dead gorgeous scent. And if you had to choose only one out of the entire Gentleman lineup, Personally, I would tell you to get this one. Now, it's going to depend on what you like, of course. You know, if you don't like iris, if you don't like whiskey, if you don't like chestnut and tonka bean, this wouldn't be the choice for you. But if you like all of those notes, you like boozy scents, you like iris scents, you like sweeter scents in general, and you want to get a gentleman, this is the one that I would recommend you to get because it is so good. It takes that DNA to the next level, and it is one that I'm still so excited about. Even though it's been out for a while now, it still is one that I love. It's a great addition to the collection, to the line in general, and it is just so good. I love it. Easily one of my favorites. And last up for this video, we have Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Extreme. It's got pine tree, leather, and juniper berries in here. Smells like a traditionally masculine scent. You know, this is something that smells like a guy working outside, chopping trees, splitting firewood, doing whatever it may be while you're wearing a flannel shirt. That's really what it smells like. Very woody heavy, so it's going to be more suited for basically everything other than summer. Although climate controlled indoors, no problem there. But if you're wanting to wear it outdoors on a regular basis, think of your spring, early summer, fall, early winter. I love it though. You know, this is something that's different, something that's unique, something that you don't smell these days often anymore because we're kind of going away from this style and going into the sweet, strong, bubblegummy beast mode blue scents and sweet scents and vanilla tonka scents and everything like that. I love those, don't get me wrong, but I also love something a little bit more traditional like this from time to time. And when I'm wanting something like that, this is kind of what I go for. These can be a little bit hard to get. Just do your best, look around. If you can't find the extreme, get the original, just the original Bottega Veneta Pour Homme. Similar deal, similar structure. It's got the pine tree, it's got the woods going on, still very masculine smelling, just a little bit less extreme. I know that sounds dumb, but that's kind of the best way to describe it. The extreme is very good, but so is the original. And also, to be fair, the extreme is also an eau de toilette. So it's not like you're jumping up in concentration here. Kind of dumb that they did it this way in my opinion, but whatever. So they're all EDTs. Don't worry about it too much. Get whichever one you can. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 10 fragrances that will take your collection to the next level. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling kind of bored, check out any of these 10. Maybe it'll help reignite that spark, give you something to look forward to again. Links will be down below to discounters. And again, I've got a mailing list you can sign up to. The fact of the matter is, a lot of our favorite fragrances are either getting discontinued or they're facing supply chain issues or even getting reformulated, whatever it may be. Take a look at a lot of the big ones out there that are falling into one of those first two categories, reformulated or discontinued or a supply chain. Stronger with you, absolutely. La Nuit Bleu Electrique here in the US and Canada. Dior Homme Parfum here in the US and Canada. The One Luminous Night here in the US and Canada. You guys get the trend. A lot of our favorites are available overseas all over the place in airports and duty-free stores and retailers everywhere. But here in the US and Canada, we don't get that luxury. I'm on the hunt for these. Every time something like that comes into stock, I send out an email allowing you the opportunity to get it. Hit the first link down below and sign up to have first exclusive access to those deals and those finds. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.